Hey friends, Phoenix here. This video's been a long time coming. I've had Avowed on my mind since I finished it, and I knew I wanted to make a video. I didn't want to rush it. So here we are. No gameplay, no flashy edits. No flashy edits. Just to sit down in a real talk review. I played Avowed on Xbox, and I'll say this right up front. It ran smooth. I had a great experience performance-wise. Not a bunch of crashes or major bugs. And that made a difference because I could just relax and take in the world. And let me just say, as someone who's been a Pillars of Eternity fan for years, this game really did something, and I ended up loving it for that. Going in, I knew, so starting out what I expected, going in, I knew Avowed wasn't going to be Pillars 3. This wasn't going to be top down highly tactical RPG we got before. This was Obsidian stepping out a bit, going first person, getting more immersive, and honestly, I respect the risk they took. I've seen a lot of people comparing it to Skyrim, and I'm just gonna say it's not to be like Skyrim. It's not chasing that. If you go in expecting a giant open world Elder Scrolls clone, you're gonna miss the point of what that game is. So as far as my build and combat, I didn't go the magic route. A lot of people seem to mess around with magic and Avowed, but me, I kept it simple. I went with a sword and a bow setup, and honestly, it worked great. Archery felt smooth, and swapping to a sword up close gave me a nice balance. The combat isn't super deep, but it's responsive. On Xbox, it really felt fluid. The bow, especially, super satisfying. You can feel the impact. I almost said combat. um, it's not over flashy or technical, but it's just fun. That's what really matters, right? I played the whole game on easy too, not because it's all I could handle, but because I wanted to enjoy the atmosphere and story without constantly getting wrecked by every enemy group. And honestly, it made the journey feel smoother and more storybook like. Now, world design and exploration. Now, this is one of my favorite parts. The world in Avowed is gorgeous, not because it's ultra realistic or pushing hardware limits, but because it's got style, it's colorful, it's alive, and it's so good at creating a vibe. It's not a massive open world like Skyrim or Elden Ring, but that's okay. It's dense. Every area feels intentional. I'd walk into a cave or climb a cliffside, and it just felt crafted, like someone actually cared about how it would feel to explore. And even on Xbox, it looked fantastic. I'd stop and take in the scenery way more than I expected. That tells me something that the game wants you to breathe in rather than just sprint from one quest to the next. Story and writing. So here's where Obsidian does their thing. The story, it's not trying to be the most epic, world ending saga, but it's personal, it's grounded, it pulled me in. You're not the all powerful chosen one right away. You're dropped into the world, and things build up slowly. There's mystery, betrayal, factions, all the juicy stuff. But what really stood out, the dialogue. The way characters talk, the way the story unfolds, it's just really smart writing. And the choices matter. You'll say something early on and see it come back in ways you didn't expect. That's the kind of RPG experience I love. When you say shapes how the world reacts to you. Companions and characters. Let's talk companions. This is one of of those games where your party members actually have personality. They'll comment on your decisions, they'll argue with each other, and they're not just there to throw one-liners in combat. Some companions really stuck with me. I won't spoil who, but but, uh, but a couple, but a couple had great character arcs and felt like more than just quest givers. I'll be honest, guys. I am reading from a script, and someone mentioned that to me the one time, like that you should, maybe if I read it from a script, it would help out a lot, and it really is. I'll be honest, and I'm using Chat GPT to help me out with this stuff. But I had to be honest here because I like to keep it real. I like to keep it genuine. So if I'm like struggling with some things, I'm actually reading from what Chat GPT came up with. But this is how I really feel about the game, and I do really enjoy it. Just coming from a guy who's reading from a script. So it is a good game. I know not everyone will feel the same, but that's just how I feel. It felt like more than just quest givers, which I've already read that. The voice acting, pretty solid all around. Nobody felt flat or robotic, which helps a lot with immersion. It's those little side combos during exploration, not exploration, that made it feel more alive. Not all companions
I'm
hit
hungry.
equally, but the ones that hit hard. And if you heard that, that was from my Twitch. Yeah. And again, since I know some of you are wondering, and this is to do with performance on Xbox, I played this on Xbox and the performance was honestly great. It ran smooth, loaded fast, and outside of a couple of small visual bugs like an NPC T-posing once or standing inside a rock, I had no major issues. No crashes, no soft locks. For a new RPG launching across platforms, that's a win in my book. Especially coming from a studio like Obsidian, who, let's be real, has had buggy launches in the past. So if you're on console and you're hesitant about performance, don't be. I had a clean experience start to finish. Alright, so this is for the ending and criticisms. Alright, let's get real for a second. The ending, yeah, it was a little disappointing. I was a little disappointed. I won't spoil anything, but it felt rushed. Everything builds and builds, and then the credits hit a little too soon. I'm not saying the ending was bad. It just felt like there was supposed to be more. Like more resolution, more time to process, maybe more epilogue. Like the game was gearing up for this huge moment. And it sort of went, okay, we're done. I hope they're setting up for a DLC or a sequel. Because I love to keep exploring the world. As where it stands, I've finished feeling a little bit whiplash. Who's this game for? So who's Avowed really for? If you're an RPG fan who values world building, characters, storytelling over flashy combat and massive maps, you'll probably dig it. If you're expecting the next Skyrim, this won't be it. But if you just want a rich fantasy world, meaningful chaos choices, meaningful choices, I gotta say chaos. That's not in the script. Um, and a solid 20 to 30-hour journey that respects your time and gives you plenty to think about. This hits the spot. Um, it's especially good if you're on Xbox and want something story heavy that doesn't overwhelm you with systems. Final thoughts. About it isn't a game for everyone, but for me, it was exactly what I needed. It scratched that RPG itch without demanding hundreds of hours of my life. Gave me lore, exploration, choices, the combat felt right for the story being told. I appreciated how focused it was. I appreciated the writing, the world design, given the fact that it didn't try to copy everyone else. I'm not saying it's perfect because it's not, but it's special. It's got my soul, and that means more to me than flashy mechanics any day. So this is the outro. So that's it. That's my long, probably overly passionate Avowed review. If you played it, I'd love to hear your take. Were you into it? Did the ending bug you too? Or are you still thinking about trying it? Leave a comment, hit like if you enjoyed the chill vibes, and subscribe. If you want more content like this, especially more RPG deep dives, I've got another Avowed. Actually, no, I do not have another Avowed video coming. Um, so with that being said, this is my only and video going when it comes to reviews on Avowed. I wanted like make one video on it because I never got the chance to. So until then, take care of yourself, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. And just some final thoughts. Um, yeah, that was a great game. I loved it. I'm not reading the script now. And, you know, I know I kind of already told, all my feelings and thoughts on this chat GPT thing, but that's how I initially felt about the game. Like it was amazing, it was fun. I can't complain, and that's just all I wanted to say, guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for giving it a watch and, checking it out. It really means a lot to me. If you're new here around the Phoenix Army, feel free to hit that subscribe. Um, and thank you so much for everything, guys. Like, as I said in the past, I don't do this for money. I do this for fun. That's why if you ever see me become a partner, I will never even talk about memberships because I don't think about that stuff, you know? Like, if you want to, that is completely okay. But just know I'm not somebody who expects anything out of anybody. So, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.